Malaysia before you leave, what would it be?
It would be I'm still Loon, but I am your brother Amir. So if you're intrigued by anything that I'm doing, then do what I'm doing now. Don't do what I did. Like, do what I'm doing now. You know, I'm chasing every day. I'm trying to seek nearness to the one that created me. Every day, this is what I'm doing, and it's a fight. It's a fight. It seems like the more I benefit and the more I learn, the harder the trials become. And sometimes we cop out when we start seeing the hardship coming. You want all the good. You want all the good. You want all the glory. You want all this mercy bestowed upon you that you don't want to fight for it. But then when you look at some of the materialistic things that you're willing to fight for, you got to put it in the scale and see which one has the most benefit. You'll see that the fight you're fighting for nothing. You can fight for something. Don't fight for something. Don't fight for your deen. Fight for understanding, your purpose of creation, whether you know it completely or not. But this is something you can do for the rest of your life. I'm 35 years old. I can't stand up in front of 30,000 people with my shirt off. There's a girl standing on the stage, 16 years old. I'm going to feel naked in front of her. My daughter's 19. What I look like standing there as a 16-year-old popping bubble gum looking up to I'm like, that has an expiration date. Just like everything else. Just like everybody in here. Everybody's going to die. Every single person in here is going to expire. But we're going to be questioned about what we did with the time. You can give 3 hours to YouTube. Most of y'all university students, y'all break your neck to give the professor an A, but you give Allah a D. SubhanAllah. Put it in the scale. Weigh it. That A that you get, you're not going to be questioned about that in the grave. Nobody's going to ask you what was the title of Lil Wayne's third album. Nobody's going to ask you what's the laws of physics. Nobody's going to ask you. These angels are not going to ask you these questions. You understand? And these questions apply to those who believe and don't believe. But we're going to be questioned about who is our Lord? Who's the messenger that was sent? What is your religion? These questions, as simple as they sound, but if this is not practice, and La ilaha illallah is not something that's repetitive on your tongue, and also an action that takes place in your limbs, who's to say you're going to be able to say it? Who's to say you're going to be able to comply when you're faced with this inevitable, situation? Because believe me, I come from the streets. I see people that can't even talk with a gun in their face. Might pull a gun and say, "Here, my wallet's in my left pocket. My sister's, hers is in the house. My mother, hers is under the bed. My father," he didn't ask you all that. He asked you where your money. But look how scared you are. You're just saying all this unnecessary stuff. But at those moments, are we going to be prepared? Like we used to say in the streets, put your money where your mouth is. Don't just talk the talk, walk the walk. So my advice to you is, like one of the scholars used to say, you have to protect wealth, but knowledge protects you. This is the difference between wealth and knowledge. You have to protect your wealth. You put it in the bank, you put it under the bed, you lock it up, you click it up, you stand over it. Some people hold guns and wait for somebody to even reach for it. But knowledge protects you. And it's incumbent upon each and every one of us to have knowledge of our deen. Have knowledge, to act upon it, then call the people to it. Have knowledge, act upon it, and call the people to it, because you can't call the people to something you haven't acted upon, and you can't act upon something you don't know. So, Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.